Have that in the video.
So, I guess my feeling is though, is there some sort of argument you can make though on campus about having guns though? Because like here's an example. Like I have some these are from certain universities, and this is like if you're in a situation where you can't get out and the person has like a gun, like what you should do. So in West Virginia University, it says it advises students that if the situation is dire, they should act with physical aggression and throw items at the active shooter. These items should include student desks, keys, shoes, belts, books, cell phones, iPods, book bags, laptops, pens, pencils,
That's not gonna
etc.
stop
See, that's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, and then
it's
it's
gonna
like-
just get them mad. Like,
It says, Wichita State University counsels if the person is causing death or serious physical injury to others and you are unable to run or hide, you may choose to be compliant, play dead, or fight with your life.
See, if that was
The University of Miami guidelines suggested that if all else fails, students should act as aggressively as possible against the shooter. The guidelines taken from the Department of Homeland Security Directive also recommend throwing items and improvised weapons as well as yelling.
Well,
So like,
that's
what if some people carry weapons that are not concealed, like they have them in a
that's what I was about to say.
holster? If somebody's shooting you, you shoot with deadly force to stop them.
You can legally
So-
in any state get a concealed
but
carry
at universities, there's very few, I mean, I don't think really any universities that allow guns on campus. Though, saying that, universities do tend to have pretty low crime rates when it comes to like gun violence and stuff.
Yeah, it's not more colleges. I'm more thinking
It's
about
just
high
their-
schools. 'Cause
yeah.
high schools get a lot more gun violence than
I think
colleges.
community college would be more than high school.
More violence in a community college
Yes, in
than
the community college, but not at university.
I've never really.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I'm just saying.
So I'm just saying that like maybe gun control on campuses, like it's already pretty much got like enough gun control on campuses, so like, do you think it would, I don't know.
What if teachers were all trained
I was about to
and
say
they
that.
had something in a locked desk?
The thing is, I think I agree with that 100%. I think that if you can't, because realistically, if you regulate gun control, you're still not going to take away the guns from the bad guys. You're going to take them away from the good guys.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're
Yeah,
gonna take
but
away
if
from
we
the guys.
give guns to the good guys, teach them properly, screen them, make sure they're mentally fit, physically fit to handle a weapon properly, safely, and effectively, it'll overall increase the risk. You are so much less likely, if I was a killer, to go into a high school and start shooting people if I knew that there were trained people inside that had guns as well to
Yeah.
counteract me.
My high school had a gun, like
It's a
had
big
police
deterrent.
officers throughout my high
See?
school, and they carried weapons.
Is it really dangerous in your high school?
I live in Princeton, and like, that's a nice area, and we still
It's-
had guns
That's what I
in
mean.
school. Like we
It's-
had
It's gonna happen
police
everywhere.
officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll act as a deterrent. You can't measure how many it'll stop because you'll never know. Like how we were saying, one of our agendas, what are the metrics? Like you won't be able to measure how many it'll stop because you can't measure deterrence.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if you start properly arming the right people, it'll definitely deter these shooters from actually going through with the act if they knew that they were armed.
So like absolute removal is like out of the question.
I think absolute removal of like
Yeah.
guns in general is just
That's
not a good
bad
idea.
idea.
And that
So-
would just
I think it's already too late to remove them.
Yeah. Do you think on campuses though they should allow guns? Like let's not
Like
see.
students or
if you have like a concealed carry permit.
Officers don't. I don't know if you've noticed the police officers on campus, like campus security, they have tasers. They don't have.
But then again, they're not
Yeah,
technically
'cause
police
they're
officers.
They're like
That's true.
students,
They're like security guards.
Obviously.
They don't-
They're students too
That's
at
true.
the same time.
Yeah,
That's true.
they actually aren't technically police, so they actually can't carry a weapon. Like, but if you're saying a student who has a concealed carry permit, are they allowed to walk on the grounds with?
Are they allowed to?
I'm saying should they? Because you're not right now. What you're supposed to do is, if you legally own a gun, you're supposed to check it into the police station downtown.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and you're allowed to have it there, and you can take it out and stuff. But realistically, if there's a killing, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm
Let me go-
2 miles
yeah.
away from the police station, like, and the killer's right in front of me. What good did that gun do? It sat in a locked
I agree.
like
Yeah.
compartment while it could have served.
I-
Like,
I did see one thing about in England where they tend to have a lot more like burglaries and things like that,
Mhm.
and in the United States it's way lower. So I don't. But they said that maybe that was because like the United States like people are afraid that maybe the person has a gun. But again, I'm somewhat skeptical because you're kind of making like a big assumption there to just say like the rates are different, so it has to be guns.
Yeah, you
like,
can't
Yeah.
you can't say that like the result of we have less
Yeah.
burglaries is because we have more guns. Like you can't draw
I
that
mean, for all you
conclusion.
know, like
it would
your
be
houses are
hard.
just easier to break into.
Yeah,
Maybe,
or
yeah.
it's just
Everyone's closer together because there's not a lot of space in between people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So is there any like solution anyone thinks might be, or I mean, is there any solutions that could solve violence in schools that is
See,
non-gun related?
I think an increased security, like what
Yeah.
Michelle was saying, like you have the
Increased
metal
security.
detectors. I think the metal detectors in the high schools is a really, really, really good idea because all the time in my high school, like there would be people with knives and stuff always getting caught in their lockers and getting
Yeah.
like suspended and stuff.
Mhm.
But if you have these metal detectors, like you can't bring a gun into school,
Yeah.
like unknowingly.
Wait, but you know, most of the high school they are not like completely closed. They don't have like fences or things like that. If they're gonna shoot it from the outside, they just like come in and kill the guards and then just get in.
Yeah,
the-
but that's
get in the
a lot
classroom.
more difficult, and that would cause a lot less
Yeah.
damage than a kid coming into school and keeping it in his locker all day and just coming to the cafeteria during lunch and just starting shooting people because he couldn't bring the gun in the school grounds. He could not get past the metal detector with that gun.
Yeah.
I think the increased security is a really, really good
But
idea.
don't you think like those metal detector doesn't actually stop them?
It's a deterrent.
Well, if
The
there's
kids
a
are
Yeah,
metal,
it
getting-
doesn't stop them. Like
if there's a
it
metal
stops, like-
detector, it'll like beep very loudly if there's like metal on you, and then like if there's officers there, they'll.
And they find a gun on you, they're like, hey,
I mean,
get
like
this kid
like
outta
I said,
here.
my high school had police officers already, so it's not like we would have to hire extra staff. So they would literally be standing there when people would walk in and be like, "So, what's in your bag that's beeping?"
I mean, I feel like, metal detectors be cool for a while, but still, people would just figure out how to just bypass it, like, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you just kill the guards and then bypass.
Well, I
the-
didn't mean that, but like,
Okay,
find
bypass
ways
the
to get around it.
detector.
you can't, but the
Yeah,
thing is, you
and-
can't prevent a human being from grabbing a gun and wanting to kill someone else. Like, you can't, like, stop that. Like, that's gonna happen
Yeah.
for the remainder of time, but I'm saying this increased security
It's
can
prevent-
prevent a little bit. Like, every step counts. This isn't an
It's a
overnight
deterrent.
solution, yes.
It's a deterrent.
It's not like we're gonna have one big, easy solution. It's like, oh, no more mass killings in the world. Like, it's gonna be a long, gradual process that involves a lot of steps.
What about being more proactive in the sense of instead of trying to prevent people in high schools and universities from bringing guns on campus and doing things bad when they get angry or something like that? I've seen some things where they're trying to implement strategies in middle schools and elementary schools to teach kids like how to cope with shit. So that way when they do get really like upset or people are bullying them or something like that, like they can understand like
Like, there's
I don't need to
talk
take my
yeah.
anger out on this person. I don't need to get a gun and shoot people. I can maybe just learn how to like cope with it in a way that is productive. I don't know. Like
That can
teaching
definitely-
people
that
those
can-
strategies, I feel like
They can help.
is not only important in like reducing violence, but I feel like it's so much more important in other aspects of their lives because I know so many people whose parents do a shitty job teaching them how to cope with like stressful situations or people who are mean to them kind of thing.
Yeah, we also need to teach our society to stop getting butthurt about literally everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We-
Learn how to cope with
It's
things.
true.
And that's the thing is, I agree with that 100%. And what I say is with that too is with this, like, it can't hurt. It can only help. So
and like
why
there's
not?
like trying to reduce like people bringing in weapons and stuff. That's nice, but like if we taught people how to cope, maybe in the beginning, we wouldn't have to worry about them bringing in those things.
it could potentially save. If it saves, the rule in the United States government is, if it saves one life, it was worth it. If it potentially can save one life, it's worth it. And these classes, you think potentially
Is it though?
If,
I mean, like,
if you're like psychological like classes or however you would implement that,
Yeah.
if they stopped one shooter who would have enacted a mass killing, if it had not been for those classes, then all those classes are worth it in my opinion. I say
Yeah.
if you stop one person with any of these methods, it's good enough. Like
so much money. To,
well,
like,
I
have all
guarantee
those
you,
classes.
tax dollars, taxpayers will 100% be okay paying for something that will help save their children's lives.
Are we sure?
I think so.
I don't know. I just feel like no matter what we do, people are going to disagree with you and people will get offended. But I mean, I think what the issue with money is how much you're gonna use,
Yeah.
because
Do
obviously
you think
like,
that should be like a metric?
it should
though?
honestly
how
be a
much does,
metric, now that I think
human,
about it.
Humans' life value money wise when it comes to these kinds of programs?
because realistically it should be all about the lives, but in today's society we are a very, very like monetary, we like money, like we put a huge emphasis on capital and money and currency, so like I feel like people are gonna take that
I
into
feel like
account,
yeah,
that we should.
Humans
That's
are capital
another
too.
reason
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
guns probably-
People are
we sh-
capital.
But we shouldn't
I'm gonna take a quick break. Hold on. Just the pause.